On a figure that shocked me that I read this morning, there are around 400 drownings every year in the UK, and drowning is the third highest cause of accidental death of children in the UK. 1 in 3 children between the age of 10 to 16 cannot currently swim, and I'm sure that sadly this summer we'll hear some more very sad stories about drownings. Let's talk to Kaylee Burgham, who's head of aquatics at Swimming Teachers Association, and Mike Goody, who's Swimming Teachers Association Water Safety Ambassador. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Kaylee, if I can come to you first then, tell me what do you feel about the current situation? I'm saying to the listeners this morning, I'm asking the question, whose responsibility is it for our children to learn to swim? Is it the parents? And I think it should be the parents. But what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think it is a parent's responsibility, and our research shows that 9 out of 10 parents do agree that it is an essential life-saving skill. Some of the factors that we've kind of identified are time constraints and cost constraints as well, and it is hard for families. I'm a working mum myself, and you know, it's hard to get that time. There are so many things that happen. You know, you get home from work and there's food that needs to be made, washing, all sorts. And then at the weekend, it's family time. So it's actually identifying that swimming can be that family time. And it's a fantastic activity that you can do together as a family and have fun together. So it's just kind of prioritising that aspect as well and saying, right, we are going to learn to swim and we are going to make it this family activity as well.
I was really lucky, Kelly. When I went to school, I'm a lot older than you two, but I went to school and I went to a brand new comprehensive and we had a swimming pool. So that was part of our curriculum. So when we had PE, very often we would have at least one lesson a week on swimming.
That's
I don't
amazing.
think that happens much these days.
Yeah, no. I mean, to find a school in this day and age which has a swimming pool is a rarity. I've been around a lot of schools since what I've been doing, and that's not a luxury a lot of them have. And Kelly was saying, there's a cost factor which some of the parents use as well. The schools blame cost as well. There's the travel, the time out of the curriculum, because if they don't have a pool on the school, then they have to travel for it, and that could be, we were saying to some people earlier, it could be like up to an hour away. That's a long time.
Is there, because I was wondering, and Kaylee and Mike, you can pick up on it as well. We always talk about Olympic legacies, and whenever a top sport does particularly well, I'm thinking about cycling or something, we do particularly well, then there's supposed to be some kind of legacy. I'm wondering whether swimming, and particularly, we think of the Paralympics as well, we did really well medal-wise. Does that transfer, do you think, in the money that's spent on swimming and essential swimming like this, just learning how to swim?
It does, yeah. I mean, from 2012, we did see a big increase in swimming and swimming participation in particular. I think it's that learn to swim aspect that sometimes gets overlooked. So the actual participation increased. However, it's getting people to book into swimming lessons and learn how to swim. The kind of group that don't know how to swim didn't go swimming. And they're the group that we want to focus on, getting them into lessons so they know how to swim. So then they can, if they want to, they can become a competitive swimmer or just learn about water safety. And you said at the start about the drowning rates in the UK. Actually, water safety is an essential aspect that comes with learning to swim, knowing the dangers of water, understanding how to help, understanding where not to swim as well.
Mm.
Yeah, and Mike, let's pick up on that, on the water safety thing, because I've had phone-ins in the past where we say we're too gentle when we're kids, we're taking all the danger out of life of growing up. And of course, water safety is right at the front of that queue. I still remember swimming in rivers, and pools and having a great time. But I don't think we'd encourage that now, would we?
No, I think in this day and age, it's very much the cotton wool era. We're sort of entering the digital age, and everything, like if it's dangerous and that we've got to pull away from it. But if there is that element that where people want to pull away from it, then they shouldn't by any means stop learning about it. Just because someone's like, oh, I don't want you swimming in open water, for example, you should still learn about open water, the risks and the dangers associated with unseen objects, trees, boulders, shopping carts in weird ways, the amount of rivers that have things like that in there, eddies, rip currents. There's so much associated with water safety. It's again, topics we've been talking about this morning, off air, is it like there's a lot of pool swimming based, but open water, there's, with the drownings, you can drown anywhere, but in open water, for example, I think it was like 2/3 of people didn't actually even intend to be in the water when they were in that unfortunate situation, and that's something that people need to learn how to deal with and how to understand and respect water.
I'm going to speak to one of our lovely swimming teachers in a second. I just wanted to ask last question of you two then. Two questions. When is an ideal time to start teaching a child to swim? And would you be surprised how many people listening to me this morning still can't swim?
It's never too late to learn to swim. There's no right or wrong age. Children are fantastic. We can teach them through play and enjoyment. And when they're younger, they don't have that kind of fear associated. So they do pick up things a little bit quicker. But saying that, if you were an adult and you were listening and think, I really want to learn to swim, the summer's coming up, I want to enjoy that time with my family, then go to the STA website. We have a lesson search section where you can search for your local swim school and find out about adult lessons, teenage lessons as well. You know, there's lessons for everybody, and we don't just chuck you in and say, right, sink or swim. It's not about that. We teach you in very much a fun way. We're very empathetic, and we will support you throughout your whole journey. So there is no ideal age. Younger the better, yes please. Even babies, we can start teaching about water safety, but there is no age. Do not think you are too young or too old to learn to swim.
To take that first step.
Yeah.
Mike, breaststroke, crawl, backstroke, butterfly. What's your stroke, please?
Oh, definitely front crawl.
Front crawl. What about you then, Kaylee?
I'm a breaststroker.
Yeah, me too. I can't do the breathing with the crawl. I can never get that head. I'm always putting my head back in the water when I should be, taken in the air. Kaylee, thanks very much for joining us. Kaylee Burgham, head of aquatics at the Swimming Teachers Association. That was the STA that Kaylee's talking about. And Mike Goody, Swimming Teachers Association Water Safety Ambassador. Now let's speak to Claire Bailey.